So these two guys, or let's call them the two brothers, they have been fighting themselves over what is called the price war. Yes, let's call it the price war. One went to China and discovered an iPhone XR, which was cloned inside an iPhone 17 casing, and he came back to sell it for, I think, 450 or 400,000. But I think there was a certain time he said 400,000. There was a certain time he said 450, and this person is called blord. So Verydarkman, who was currently in China, is currently in China as I'm making this video, went to discover that this phone is being sold at, let's just say, below 280,000. Yeah, based on maybe when he brings his own, he's going to sell it for at a cheaper price. So Verydarkman came after blord to accuse blord of extorting Nigeria. But do you know that the both of them are right and the both of them are also wrong? In the aspect of Verydarkman is just, let's just say, just because he said it with his own clear mouth, that he's just trying to revenge what blord did to him so many months ago. Okay, let's shift that aside. Let's go into business. Business is business. That is why we believe in capitalism here in Nigeria. Well, many countries believe in capitalism because you sell your goods according to the price you want. That is why there's competition. In an aspect whereby you come out to tarnish somebody's business, telling the person that is extorting Nigeria, I would say no to that. Yeah, but we need to have people like Verydarkman who hold so many people accountable. Somebody like blord. Well, I would like Verydarkman not to stop only there. You should start going into other aspects of businesses. Number 1, into the real estate. Number 2, into cars. Number 3, into so many products we don't produce here in Nigeria. Let me tell you something. One thing that makes products and goods and services very expensive in Nigeria is that there are too many middlemen. Many middlemen. Well, somebody, let's just say a wholesaler who brings goods from China brings it at a certain prices, and he imports these goods and maybe brings it to people and to come and buy. Somebody will come and buy these goods, and he will come in the name of, I'm a wholesale member, I'm a wholesale seller. I'm a wholesale. He will go and sell it to another person. Another person sells it to another person. The chain keeps increasing. That chain of wholesale keeps increasing. As it increases, that's how the prices of goods keeps increasing, because every stage this goods gets to, there's a price tag being placed on it, because no business person who wants to run a business at a loss. So everybody is going to put he or her own gain to make sure that they recover. This is why prices of goods keep increasing. In places like China, where production is so massive, where everybody is producing anyhow he wants, and goods are too much because they are looking for who to come and buy their goods, you see that the competition is so high that prices of goods are so low. Things are very cheap. A bike which is sold at, let's say, the equivalent of 400,000 naira in China, when imported to Nigeria, is sold at a range of 2.something million. There are some even sold at 2.5 million. I saw a bike that is being sold in China for 400,000. When imported to Nigeria, it's sold at 2.5 million. Well, let's go to another aspect where somebody will say, yeah, I rented a shop, I rented a warehouse, I pay custom duty, I pay so many things, I pay this, I pay that, I pay this, and I'm selling this bike for 2.5 million. Why he bought it for 400,000? That's equivalent to Nigerian money. Well, is that not too much extortion? That's too much extortion, because that is almost like 500% gain. More than that, that is bike of 400,000. You're selling it for 2.5 in the name of you have a warehouse where you keep them, in the name of you be paying staff, in the name of custom duty. That's too much. This is why we still need Verydarkman, people like Verydarkman who will call out people like this. Well, we want Nigeria to be better, but in another aspect, I want Verydarkman to understand something. Now we need production in Africa. We don't need to start relying on China, because most of this country, they also extort from us. Because in as much as we don't produce here, we are exporting jobs to them and importing poverty into Nigeria. We need to start producing. This is where we need to start producing. We need to start holding our governments accountable. They need to start making environment very friendly for business. So in as much as we are doing this trade fair between blord and Verydarkman, we also need to start pushing for the agenda of production right here in Africa, right here in Nigeria, so that we can be an economical hub. We can start exporting money and importing we can start exporting products and importing money, and it will help our economy to grow very stronger. In the aspect of that is why I want to appreciate somebody like Aliko Dangote. Aliko Dangote, as he just built this refinery, he has increased jobs. Right now he's exporting petroleum products like the PMS, the diesel, the aviation oil, even some chemicals he extracts from the crude oil, and this is boosting the Nigeria economy. These are things we need. We don't need to start dragging how much is iPhone XR. We need production. I want the both of them, both blord and Verydarkman, to come together and say, let's be like Dangote. How can we start producing our own model of iPhone? How can we start producing African phones so that we can boost the Nigeria economy? So there's no country that will survive importing. Every country that will be great needs to survive producing. Thank you so much.